So, in the last part, please, Laci, speak a little bit about how do you reach the tourists, or how do you get guests, or how do you contact people to visit
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
The birth hospital live in the Facebook, and I think because the leaders, we only wanna catch the Hungarian tourism or the Hungarian tourists, or not a big problem, because I think the lot of nation from other countries don't wanna come to Hungary because the birth hospital. They wanna catch Hungary. They wanna see Budapest, wanna see the Balaton, and wanna catch the thermal buses in Hungary. And the Hortobágy.
So we can say that the PR of the Hortobágy, for example, so
yes,
it's a region in the land, so it's not developed or not so good as the PR of Budapest or the Lake Balaton.
I think, yeah.
Okay.
At the national park from 1973 don't want to catch any tourists from the world. It's open, and at the last time, the 90s, we've got a lot of German from the east side of German. Nowadays, we have a lot of people from Poland, from Romania, from Russia, and from Spain, and from France. Other nations, I think, never came here because I don't know why.
They don't know about you, perhaps. I suppose, I guess.
Maybe, yeah. I think that's the problem of the Hungarian tourism, the government tourism, because they only want to catch Budapest. Last year, there was a big project with the government and with the Chinese and with the Indians to came here a lot of tourists from that countries, but because the war between the Ukraine and the Russia, it was never do that there. But we build the Hungarian tourism.
Okay, so you built on most of the Hungarian tourists. Okay, any questions from anybody?
I want to ask you in relation to bird watching. We also prepared some very interesting video, and I want to show how it is organized in Georgia, if you don't mind, of course.
No, please. Show it.
Okay, so we had some kind of experiential tourism project, and we tried to collect information how this type of events were organized. So, one of them is this bird watching festival, which is every autumn in near Batumi. In Batumi, and I want to share this video with you.
Okay.
Birds just below your station, so it's very difficult for us.
So, Peter, do you think you can count these birds that are at this distance?
No picture, only the sound.
Yes, we are counting.
Oh, it's okay now.
All the way around in greater study.
Why are they counting this?
What is happening here?
ჩვენთან არის ორი სათვალთვალო წერტილი, ამ ორ სათვალთვალო წერტილზე მიმდინარეობს ყოველ წელიწადს გადამფრენი ფრინველების აღრიცხვა, ანუ რამდენმა გადაიფრინა და რომელმა სახეობებმა გადაიფრინა.
So birds from the northern parts, northern countries, north of here, they don't like to fly over sea, over water, so they follow the coastline and they concentrate the migration route, they concentrate here, avoiding the higher mountains and avoiding the sea. So they come together here and they fly through Turkey to, at the end, Africa.
So the Batumi Raptor Count is an NGO that tries to monitor the astounding raptor migration that we have here in Batumi.
Somebody else says, look there's something. So you help each other, as it were. So that is good. You are one family.
სახალბაშოში, რომელიც ჩვენს რეგიონში ერთ-ერთი ყველაზე ცნობილი სოფელი არის, იმიტომ რომ ბერდვოჩინგის ერთ-ერთი ძირითადი მიმართულება და ყველაზე პოპულარიზებული მიმართულება წესებრივი ფრინველების აღრიცხვა სწორედ ამ სოფელში ხდება. ტრენინგები იყო იმ კუთხით, რომ
რაღაც გვეჩვენებინა, რომ ფრინველების მიგრაციას უფრო მეტი სარგებელი მოაქვს, ვიდრე ვთქვათ, მათი დახოცვის მიზნით თავის გართობა.
For Europeans, it's probably the closest place where you can see that many birds. Like on one day, like 2 days ago, I think, we saw like nearly 170,000 birds.
Thousands of birds passing by and then communicating with the other station and just knowing, okay, we're doing a good job, we're counting everything and we're really on top of it.
An age, yes. The age, if you know a sex, is sex.
მკვეთრი ცვლილება ამ ეტაპზე არ არის, რომ დავუშვათ რომელიმე სახეობამ შემცირდა, ან რომელიმე სახეობის მატება არის. სწორედ ეს არის იდეა, რომ ჩვენ ვიყოთ ინფორმირებული კონკრეტული სახეობა, ის კონკრეტული პოპულაცია რა რაოდენობით არის.
But you have to have this.
I have a lot of steps in Western Europe, so it's a total different kind of environment. Also, climates and stuff. It's like super different here from Western Europe. So that's why some birds got adapted to this environment.
We don't really know why, but like at the beginning of the season, some birds were going north when they're supposed to go south. So it was like, what are you doing? Why are you going the wrong way? And it was extremely hot this summer, so maybe that has an effect on them. In the pouring rain, the birds were still flying, and they were flying also super, super low. So they were actually flying below us, so we could see them from above, and that was just insane. And it's like they just kept going, they didn't give up, and I was like, why are you doing this?
Raptor watch point in one word. I would say fantastic.
Ooh, unbelievable, because that's actually true.
They soar and they glide. This experience in one word, unbelievable.
Every day is different. Yeah, I don't know. It's super nice. I mean, super chill.
So they do not have a nationality, but they do have a home.
Bye.
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 Bye. Very nice.
So, for example, I begin just a short mention. So it's absolutely true what Laci said, that the Hungarian foreign tourism, it concentrates absolutely on Budapest. A little bit as on the Lake Balaton, so it's a very popular region as well. But 80% of the tourists come to Budapest, and one of the reasons is that why the people don't have much time, so really dive into the culture and get to know to the land. So it needs a specific mindset. For example, if you want to avoid the touristical hotspots, and most of all they are in the capitals. So I don't know how it is, for example, in Georgia, but I think the most popular places are the seaside and Tbilisi. Because in Hungary, it's 80% of the tourists are concentrated on Budapest, and just 20% travels to the land. So, and the city can offer a very different and many experiences as well. But I think that the creative tourism, it's the best environment for creative tourism. It's the land. If you can visit the local people and you can watch how do they live in their own environment, because the city life knows almost everybody, so it's everywhere the same. So yeah.
Yeah, where we were in Georgia, and from the north side, what the name, it's Uzhguli. So I think the very important place of the north side of Georgia, that the Uzhguli, where you can go by horse, go by jeeps, or tracks, or on foot, and there is.
Okay, I understood. So, as Norbert mentioned, of course, in Georgia too, we have a hub tourism destinations, which are mainly big capitals like Tbilisi and capital of Autonomous Republic of Adjara, Batumi. But of course, there are several places, small cities and remarkable villages, which are also popular. And one of them is, of course, Uzhguli. But as far as you know, Georgia is very diverse in terms of nature. So we can host tourists of all, probably not only interested in nature, but of course in cultural sites, in gastronomy, and many more. And if you are really interested, I can share some Georgian products also in relation to creative tourism. If you don't want to add anything to your presentation, I can show some Georgian cases also, how creative tourism products are organized in Georgia.
Oh, okay.
So in Georgia, we have different kinds of offers related to creative tourism. And we can say that they are standalone offers, like walking tours. Several people suggest some kind of walking tours, not only in Tbilisi, but also in other cities as well. And there are also repeated offers, series of created activities. For example, one of our art studio in a region of Tetoplistgaro suggests like sustainable dyeing and cloth making out of wool. We also have small localized networks, like network of Craftsman Street, for example, in Tbilisi, so in Tel Aviv, which suggests some kind of walking tour on the Craftsman Street located in this city, and you can enter different locations and see what those craftsmen are doing. We also have some small scale festivals, and especially I want to tell about tradition of Berikaoba. It's not a festival, it's more like a local celebration. It happens in spring, and it's like a celebration of fertility and asking nature to have a good harvest this year. It's like costumed walking. Villagers are walking in the street. They are wearing some costumes. They are knocking on each door, and they asking for some like sweets, food, and etc. So it's a really old tradition, and it was somehow renovated, arranged during couple of last years. And also there is very interesting cases of creative accommodations like art residencies and festivals where creative people gather and share their some art experience, or create music, or just communicate with open-minded, like-minded people. I want to show some pictures of those cases. As I mentioned, this is art studio. Although they are trying to combine nature and cultural heritage, and what is interesting, they are like they had project related to local bird, vulture, and they incorporated this image of this bird into their production, into their rugs, into their carpets, into their bags, and etc. And also what is important for this creative tourism product and process, of course, learning, and tourists are involved in learning process. They can not only make some souvenirs locally, but they also can color some, dye this wool and receive new knowledge. Another interesting workshop related to also learning, teaching, and to the local heritage. This is the metal casting master class located in the village Asureti. And here tourists can listen to stories of Georgian metal casting, and not only understand how it was made, but they also can create small bells and small other type of small souvenirs with the Georgian ornaments, together with experienced master. Another interesting workshop is located in upper mountains in Raja, and here tourists can learn how felt souvenirs are made. And how they can create different kinds of hats, like costumes for wine bottles, and etc. They are not limited, and they can also make it in the beautiful nature surrounded with high mountains of beautiful Raja, and they can take their inspiration from the nature surrounding them. This is also one of our interesting masters who can offer, who can learn, so who can teach how these local ceramics were made. His studio is probably more than 2 centuries. He was established more than 2 centuries ago by his grandparent, and he has many pupils. And tourists also can participate in wheel throwing master class here. They can listen to this experienced master. They can share stories, and of course they can create interesting souvenirs, clay souvenirs, and they can take them with them, or master can also send it to them after like some processing in the oven. Interesting offers are also related with gastronomy, and Georgian gastronomy is also very important part of Georgian life, and tourists are always interested to not only to taste but to participate in some kind of culinary masterclass. And this lady established some kind of museum of gastronomy, where tourists, of course, can prepare some local dishes with local products, which is also very important, as was mentioned several times today, and Norbert also mentioned several times authenticity and locally produced and natural products are very important for creating truly authentic creative tourism products. Music and singing and dancing is also very interesting and important part of Georgian culture. And some local museum, which is also famous for its cave town, had idea to start lessons for tourists and to use local Georgian folk instruments and teach them to tourists how to play those instruments, and also how to sing Georgian polyphony music. So this product is developed in cooperation with museum, and mainly the first instruments and first idea of this creative tourism product came out of archaeological excavations, and all the pipes were found on the territory of this museum, and this was inspiration and idea of their initial tourism product. As I mentioned, this is some local network. This is very small network. Probably it unites one craftsman from one street. They are like located on the one street of small city Tel Aviv. This street was famous for its craftsmen, different kinds of blacksmiths, winemakers, all kinds of craftsmen lived there. So old houses had on the first floor, they had workshops historically where those craftsmen worked. But during the Soviet period, those windows of those workshops were covered, not to distinguish anything inside. But during recent 10 years, hosts understood that this can be something very interesting and tried to try to open their doors again to tourists. Traditional Georgian enamel, cloison enamel, is also very important and interesting tourist product in Georgia, and this specific enterprise work in small settlement. They are, let's say, internally displaced persons, refugees from Samachabla region, so-called South Ossetia. And they started their business just to unite community and just to have some additional source of income. But when they understood that not only selling souvenirs, but giving some knowledge to tourists, how this craft was made, and especially incorporating traditional ornaments into their souvenirs is something very interesting for tourists, and it was transformed into the unique creative tourism product. Georgian wine is very famous, and of course we have several wine cellars and wine degustation, distillizing vodka, so-called in Georgia we call it cha-cha. It's something common in our wineries. Yes, of course, every winery and every region has a little bit different model of making or making of wine, but why this winery is a little bit different from others. They incorporated into their common wine degustation and like excursion, some costumed wine tour and photo session. So Georgian traditional clothes are very beautiful and interesting. So our host can offer you to wear their clothes, like for ladies and for gentlemen, there are different colors and shapes. And while degustating and listening to the folk music, they can take photos, videos, and what also should be mentioned that this family have very interesting background in singing. They traditionally were singers, so they can also offer singing lessons to tourists. And also, in the end, I want to mention online platforms where those products are sold. You know, these huge, globally known online platforms, TripAdvisor and Airbnb, and they were like pioneers in marketing and selling these creative tourism products. But also we in Georgia we established a platform which is also part of our current project, and all those products which I mentioned can be found on this platform. You can, at the moment, there are presented products of 3 countries actually. It's Georgia, Ukraine, and Bulgaria. But we encourage you to join this platform. Maybe not only as service providers, but also as tourists. You can look through all offers, tourist routes, and you can find interesting like transboundary routes also. As was mentioned before, this joint marketing and joint transboundary routes are becoming more and more popular.
Okay, so then I share my screen again. Okay, I hope you see it. So here are the winners. So this is the website. It's a festival for international tourist films, and there are 5 or 6 categories. So you can see there are the region category, tourism, services, cities, countries, and tourism products. So and these are we can say the best films. So I I don't want to discuss about it because they are really very high quality and very good films. Of course, there are as well as many other good films, but we can showcase some of them. The New Hand Lab. It's a art center from Portugal, and it's their film to promote their services. They are making workshops, organizing workshops in many fields from art. Okay. There is a written series. So they made a series of advertising films from this topic, and the main story of these series is that from the COVID, many, not many, but some people are escaping from the so-called civilized world, and they find a very calm and chill place in South Africa. And this is their story. So it's a very different kind of method to showcasing, seeing this region, or like the other. It's more calm and more relaxed and more slow. So this is the last film.
We are surrounded by the immense beauty that nature has to offer here. We often hear that when you come to the Western Cape, something changes within you.
When I arrived in South Africa almost 5 years ago, I felt a freedom that I never really felt before.
If you love food and if you love wine, there are not a lot of places in the world where you can have that diversity.
The combination of the mountain, of the sea, just that feeling of pure joy and happiness that made me come back.
You suddenly realize that there are feelings just in using your senses.
Surfing does something magical to me.
The fact that you can cook and eat outdoors almost every day of the year.
I feel differently. I just can really enjoy and be in the moment.
Okay, and this is the end. Okay, so thank you for your attention. So it's time is over. But I send the link if you want in my presentation, and you can watch the film. So it's they are really good. So and they are a very different kind of the advertising methods. So you can watch it and you can learn many of them, I think. So and they are very enjoyable. So I like to watch them. So thank you for your attention.